All right, well, for the final time in the 2009 regular season, we'll find out who George is going to pick this week. He's 57-23 on the year after going 5-3 last week. Couple tough days. Well, you know, it's Central.
I thought I was like Johnny Taylor and Idlew, consistent at the 6-2. Apparently, every once in a while, you have a 5-3.
You have a 5-3 week when San Angelo Central decides to win for the first time. Now, honestly, Coronado kind of knows what the Redskins feel like against the Lions.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, well, let's go out the Thursday night matchup out at Lowry Field. Westerners going to have their hands full with the Sandies. Amarillo they're looking forward to the postseason, obviously, but would like to end on a good note before heading that way. What's it going to take for the Westerners to maybe pull out a win in this one?
Well, right now the way Amarillo's playing, it may take the team bus breaking down somewhere around Plainview. I'm not sure. Amarillo's just playing outstanding football, and this is one that's been, we talk about, Lubbock High making steps, beating Midland Lee, winning the Spurs a couple years ago. The thing is, they struggled with this one. Amarillo, I think it's 34 straight years that Amarillo has won this game now. I think since 1975, which is the last time that Lubbock High won the district. So I don't see where Lubbock High really has a good matchup anywhere around here. Amarillo runs the football very well, plays outstanding defense. I think the Sandies come in and get the win over the Westerners this week.
All right, the next going out at Lowry on Friday night, Monterey taking on Coronado. We talked about this just before the show. I saw this one last year. It was an unbelievable offensive showing, no defense whatsoever. But that's kind of the flip side of things this year. You haven't seen a lot of offense from either team, and it's been more about what they can get and what they do better on defense.
Yeah, it really has. This is why, these Lubbock teams have been kind of hard for me to grasp this year. Every time I think Lubbock High is on a swing, they have a slump. Every time I think Coronado's on an upswing, same with Monterey. This week I think I'm going to go with Monterey. I think, Monterey's probably playing the best of the two teams. Coronado, struggled against San Angelo Central last week. Monterey, played well offensively and defensively and on special teams. And I think, that's what, they're kind of focused on, is playing well, putting things together for the final 2 weeks of the season. I think Monterey will get the win in this one. May not be as high scoring as it was last year, but go with the Plainsmen on this one.
All right, going over to 4-4A Friendship, taking on San Angelo Lakeview, and playoffs starting a week early for these two teams because they are both in a must-win situation to make this postseason. Yeah,
this is a big win for both teams. It's winning, you're in. This is the playoffs right now, so a big game for Friendship. Going to Lakeview, I can remember a couple times Friendship having to go to Lakeview and coming away with a loss, but those were better Lakeview teams and those were Friendship teams that weren't so good. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. Talking with somebody else who's seen Friendship a lot this year, the one thing we talked about, Friendship's offense may struggle, but their defense has been outstanding all year. I think that defense will go into Lakeview. Lakeview struggling offensively, and with some new guys, just not able to put it together this year. I think Friendship goes down there, wins a low-scoring game, maybe about a 21-7, something like that. But I think the Tigers will get in the playoffs and keep that streak alive.
All right, going over to 1-3A now. Estacado in control of their own destiny, I guess, in this one. They're playing Borger, the team at the top of the standings. They can get a share of the title. A little bit different scenario than last year. They needed help to get in the playoffs last year after losing that final game.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see. I mean, this group could get their first district title since 1997.
I think there's two areas of motivation for Estacado in this one. One, like you mentioned, they lost this game last year to Borger. Borger finished last. This is a game that Estacado lost and needed help. Still got in the playoffs, but needed help to do so. I think that will motivate them. And I think going up there and playing for the district title will motivate them. I know Coach Cervantes has kind of kept this team on an even keel the past 3 weeks and really had them playing good, solid, fundamental football. I think they'll be motivated. I think, looking at what Estacado did to Cooper and what Borger did to Cooper, I like the Matadors to go on the road in this one. I think they'll have a better effort than they did when they had to go to Perryton. Go with the Mats on the road this week. They get the district title.
All right, 3-2A now, Post at Littlefield, and obviously the Antelopes would like to get a share of that district title with the Wildcats, a game where both these teams know they're headed to the postseason, but like I said, I think Chris Jones and his group would like to show that they deserve that district title or a share of it this season.
I think they would too, and I don't doubt that they do. They've had an outstanding season. Post has played good, solid, fundamental football, run the football very well, and played solid defense. The unfortunate thing is they run into the buzzsaw that is Littlefield, and I don't know if there's a team out there on the South Plains right now that's playing better than the Littlefield Wildcats on both sides of the football, putting up tons of yards, tons of points with the running game offensively, but getting some passing yards as well, and then getting it done with defense. Being on the road, I don't like Post chances. I want to go with the home team, go with the Littlefield Wildcats in this one.
I'll take your Wildcats and raise you a mule because Muleshoe's going for win number 25 in a row. They're taking on Friona, looking up to lock up that district again this season with an undefeated record. And it's a different Muleshoe team. This isn't a team that is blowing out teams completely with offense and defense. They've had to score a lot because their defense has given up more yards than anyone else in Class 2A right now in the area.
Yeah, and win or lose, this may be a good game for Muleshoe just for the simple fact that Freona is probably going to be their biggest test of the season. Freona, the Chieftains are playing very, very well. They've done so all season. They've kind of flown under the radar a little bit. When we look at that district, everybody say, oh, well, it's Muleshoe and everybody else. But Freona's kind of been quietly consistent in that district. They may have lost a couple more games than Muleshoe, but, being on the road, Muleshoe is going to have a tough time. Freona plays very well at home, but Muleshoe knows how to play in these types of games. I'm sure they want to repeat it as that district champion, want to repeat as that 10-0. I'll take your Mules this week.
Lockney taking on the Hale Center in our next game, and the Owls like to look to finish up on a good note this season.
Yeah, this one is another one of those that's winning in. The winner of this game is in from District 6 1A. Lockney has been kind of a surprise team. They've had some good games. They've gotten themselves into playoff position. Hale Center is a perennial playoff power out of this district. But they've kind of fallen back to third behind Holton and New Deal. So this is a game that's going to have a lot of intensity and a lot riding on it. Everything being equal between these teams, I think the home team wins. I'm going to go with the Owls this week. Count on Hale Center.
All right, maybe one more. Plains taking on Seagraves. You like the home team in this one as well?
I do. 2 weeks ago you talked to me. I thought Plains was going to go into Seagraves and win this one, but they took a loss. A couple weeks ago. Seagraves has been playing very well. We've seen Seagraves. We know what they do running the football. I think they're going to be able to do the same thing against Plains because I think that exposed a weakness on Plains about a week or so ago. I'll take the home team and go with Seagraves in this one as well.
All right, that's all the time we have this week for Football Fever. Be sure to check LISD.TV for all your replay times of the show and Friday Night Football as well. For George Watson, I'm Travis Cram. Enjoy the games this weekend. We'll see you next time here on Football Fever. That's all the time we have this week on Football Fever. Be sure to check your... dang it! So close. So close. I was thinking about the time. I'm thinking, okay, 30 seconds, get it in. Blah, blah, blah. Shoelace decides.
I don't get to be like the big, like the TV anchors here where it says, wardrobe provided by Jay
provided
Hoffman
by.
or
I like
Men's
Jay
Warehouse. Or, I guarantee.
I guarantee.